So hello guys and welcome to my YouTube channel. So in today's video we shall be looking at how you can build a simple chatbot with LangChain. Alright, so what we'll be doing is how we'll be able to make a query directly to an LLM using the API key. Alright, so we'll be working with LangChain as the framework we'll be using, and then working with OpenAI. So to get started, you need to install a couple of libraries. You need to install LangChain if you don't have LangChain installed, and also install the langchain-openai. So the LangChain is the framework we're working with. Then langchain OpenAI is the package on LangChain to help you interface with the OpenAI API key. Alright, so you need to go over to OpenAI API Playground to generate your OpenAI API key. So I've already done mine. And then you also need to import this library python.env and then the LangChain core. So let's get started. So first of all, the first thing you do is to set up your environment variables. Now, when you're working with sensitive data like API keys or secret keys, you don't need to hard code them inside your code. It's not safe. So you need to put them in an environment variable. All right. So how does this work? You create a Python file. You create not a Python file. You create a file .env and then you specify your this is my OpenAI API key. So don't worry about this. I'll be deleting this immediately after this project. So you say OpenAI API key is equals to, you paste your API key here. All right. And then how do you now read your API key? Okay, so this is how you read your API key. Let me comment this out and then get this. Now, you have to import your load.env from .env and then import os. Then you just run this function. This function reads the env file, all right? And then to read a file that is inside the env, you say os.getEnv. You pass the exact name you use in specifying the name of that particular value in your env file. All right, so when I run this now, it's going to print my OpenAI API key here, and this is my OpenAI API key. All right, so now to set this in my environment variables, there are two ways to do that. Is either I set it directly on my environment, or I pass it while declaring the model. So these are the two ways you can do that. So I can actually do this, and the second way is to pass it to the model when I'm declaring the model. So I will show you that. Now the next thing I need to do is to initialize my model. So to initialize the model, I'll be doing this from the LangChain OpenAI. All right, from LangChain OpenAI, I will import Chat OpenAI. So Chat OpenAI is the class I'll be using to initialize our model. So if I do not add my API key to my environment variable, I can actually add it here while initializing the model by saying API key. So I'll say API key is equals to, and I'll pass my API key. So this is the second way that you can actually do that. So, but I've done that before, so I'll continue now. So the LLM, which is the instance, is equals to chat OpenAI, and then the model I'm working with is GPT 4.1 nano. All right, so you can choose any of the OpenAI GPT models, 4.1 mini, 4.1, we have 5.1, 5.1 mini, and 5.1 nano. All right, so I'll run this now. So it's going to take a while to initialize the model. So once the model has been initialized, then I can actually use this instance to actually invoke the model. So anytime I run llm.invoke, it invokes the model and gets a response. So I just give it some time to run. All right, so it's done running now, and for me to actually get a response, so I'm going to say response is equals to llm.invoke. All right, and then I'll be printing the response. Then we'll examine the response and know what the type of response we are getting from the LLM. So the question is, what is LangChain? So let's run this now, and then we'll have a response. So this is the response. So the response is actually um, a pedantic model, is a type of AIMessage. That is what the response is. So it's an instance of AIMessage. All right. So and what we are interested in is this content. This is where our output is. But then I want to show us something. All right. So um, let me say response dot model dump. All right, so since this is a pedantic model, to say response or model dump is going to print it as a dictionary, and then we're going to see all the values that are inside here. All right, so we see that we have content. Content is the actual response from the LLM. All right, so we can actually have a look at other details. We'll talk about the response metadata. Let's look at the response metadata. So we'll see completion token, prompt token, total token. So we explain this. So completion token is the token it took for the LLM to send this response. That's how many tokens it took to generate this response. Prompt token is how many tokens it took to send our input. And then the total token is prompt token plus completion token. So you see that you'll be able to get the total token that each um, each query or each LLM invocation takes you. So and every other detail about the model is here. This is the model we are using 4.1 nano. Okay, so every other details are specified here in case you actually want to make use of them. So this is how you can actually read all the details. All right, so then I can actually print this my output by just saying print using my print statement. So I'm getting this response dot content. So and I now have the output is here now. So you see that this print statement um, added in consideration all the new line characters that we are in the content here. All right, so and it was able to get what LangChain is, and it gave me the complete response. So this is just how you can make a simple query to an LLM. All right, so how it works is when you send an input, it generates an output and then gives you this particular output, and you can actually make use of this output. So it's pretty straightforward. All right, then we're going to look at something else now. So we'll take a step further. What if I want to control the type of response that being generated with this LLM? Like I don't just want whenever I ask any question. Like currently now, I can actually ask any questions and then it will get me a response. So I want it to attend to a particular set of questions. So you can achieve this by prompting your chatbot. So we have what we call prompting the chatbot. And how you can do that is by adding what is called a system message. Now, a system message is just like a directive message that tells the chatbot, this is who you are and this is how you should respond. That is what we'll call adding a system message. So we're going to add a system message here. So to add a system message from LangChain messages, we need to import system message. And we also need to import HumanMessage. You can also import AIMessage from there. So, but I'm interested in SystemMessage and HumanMessage. Now, all these messages are being used to define the type of message that you are giving to the LLM. All right. So, if this message was from the AI, it should be a type of AI message. If this message from the human, like I want to ask a question, it should be a human message. All right, so if it is a directive on how the chatbot should behave, then it should be a system message. Though here, we prompted it directly with just a message, no problems. All right, so but now we are going to be putting all this into consideration. So we need to define, this is a simple system prompt. So what does it say? You are an expert Python developer and you're tasked with guide developers and newbies with their coding tasks. And then it gave it instructions, refresh on each task, generate accurate code solution, give guidance on how to solve problem, help in debugging. You are to respond only to Python programming tasks. You need to look at this line. So this is a specific instruction that is giving it a guardrail on and boundaries on what you should do. So it's saying that your job is to respond to only Python programming tasks. Any other question apart from Python programming tasks, don't respond. All right, so you might have something like, if you ask if asked out of bound question, respond with I am your Python programming assistant. I will help you with I will help you solve your Python programming tasks. This is just a simple system prompt. All right, so and then we'll now pass it to the system message. Content is equal to system prompt. All right, so and if we run this now, we are printing the system message here. So okay, I'm yet to run this, and then I can now run this now. All right, so this is the system message. So it's now returning a type of system message. All right, and our system prompt is here completely with us. Now I now have to query the LLM. Now let's see how you can query the LLM when you have multiple different type of messages that you're passing to the LLM at the same time. So now what you do is, this is our query. Write me a Python code for simple point of sale system. This is just a simple code. And then I'm going to pass this query as a human message, because this is not my human message. Remember, this is the system instruction. Now I need to pass it as a human message. That's why I created an instance of the human message, which is the MSG. Now, to now invoke the LLM, I pass all the messages as a list. So it takes all the messages as a list of messages. So that is why I have a list here. I'm passing system message and I'm passing the human message, which is the message I pass to the LLM. All right, so it takes this as a list of messages. Now it knows that, okay, this is system message and this is human message, and it will be able to respond accordingly. All right, so let's run this now and see if we are going to be getting a response. Okay, we actually got a response, which is a type of AIMessage. All right, so we've looked at type of AIMessage here and what it contains. So I can, where we have the actual responses on the content, so I can print the content to see what I have. So this is the content, make it scrollable. So you see that I have a Python code here and it's in markdown format. All right, so I have a simple Python code here to actually execute the task that I want. Now let's take it a little further. Let me now ask a question. Write me a C++ code. All right, so this is a C++ code to actually do the same thing. So I'm telling it to write me a C++ code, and then I'm passing my list of messages here now, and I'm printing the content directly. All right, so which is the content of the output. So if I run this, let's see the response. Okay, so and you see what it said. I am your Python programming assistant. I will help you solve Python programming tasks. You see that it was not able to respond to this particular question because we have given it an instruction. You can only do this. So this is how your chatbots are able to be guided against what we call prompt injection. Okay, so prompt injection is trying to inject an instruction that the system is not supposed to respond to. All right, so guiding it against prompt injection, and then see this. And let me also ask you this other question. Tell me about Nigerian politics, and it can't respond. But once I ask it any question related to Python programming, it's going to respond. Okay, tell me about Python programming. And it was okay. Let me say write a Python code for me. Oh, and there you go. So anything pertaining Python programming, it will be able to respond, but once it's not about Python programming, it will not respond. All right, so this is just how you can build a simple chatbot. So you can actually try this on your own. Try do a couple of things, query the LLM, and then see how the response can be. Thank you for watching this video. If you like the video and you enjoyed it, give us a thumbs up, comment, tell us how you want it to come, and also subscribe to this YouTube channel. We'll be bringing you a lot of tutorials on how you can build different AI systems. Stay tuned for the next video. Thank you.